While the weather here at home has been feeling fantastic, certainly a different story has been unfolding for our friends east of the Rocky Mountains. First Alert meteorologist Spencer Blum live back in studio to break down the active weather from flooding in Kentucky to frigid temperatures in the plains. Spencer.
You know, Peter, when we have such fantastic weather here at home, it's hard to realize that in other parts of the country, it's a very different story. So let's go ahead and take a look at a lot of the different national hazards. This is showing different watches and warnings in place throughout the country. Now, obviously, there's a lot going on in kind of the spine of the country. There's a lot of dark blue and some of those pinks as well. We'll get there in a moment, but let's first zoom in with some of those, a lot of that green. That's all different flood warnings that are still in place. Now, you may have heard that over the last few days, there have been a lot of very, very deadly floods in Kentucky, and much of the state, as you can see, received several inches of rain. But although that doesn't sound like a lot, imagine that over the entire state. A lot of those rivers are now flooded, and the death toll since we've last checked is now standing at 11 people. So really very dangerous floods. Look at that. Louisville, almost 3 inches of rain, almost 5 inches in Bowling Green, and over 6 inches in Clarksville, Tennessee. But let's go ahead here. We can see all of that flooding risk that is still in place, mainly along local rivers in and around Kentucky. So that's something that we're going to keep an eye on as well. Now let's turn our head to this giant blue swatch throughout the country. That is an extreme cold warning. Now, you may have heard me mention a few moments ago about this Arctic blast that has moved into, or is going to be moving into, the U.S. We're already starting to feel those temperatures in the northern part of the country, but in the coming days, by tomorrow, we'll certainly see those very frigid temperatures moving farther to the south. So let's go ahead and briefly take a look at some of those temperatures. Now, this is with the wind chill. Negative 30 degrees in Bismarck, North Dakota, negative 18 Billings, Montana, negative 23 degrees right now in Minneapolis. And a lot of that cold air is going to move throughout the rest of the country in the coming days, Peter. So we're going to keep a very, very close eye on this Arctic blast, and we'll see how cold those temperatures get over the next few days. Potentially some areas as low as negative 60.
Ooh, we are lucky here.
Very lucky to have 80s here in the desert.
Okay, thanks, Spencer.